but annoying body damage. The Sprinter's rear side wall is visibly scratched and dented. Up until now, damage like this was highly expensive for the customer. The entire side wall and the interior fittings had to be removed to repair the damage. However, there is a more effective solution where you only have to replace the damaged part of the sidewall from the exterior. Before you begin with the work, disconnect the vehicle battery. Remove all of the external attachments, along with the plastic strips and the tail light. Wear personal protective equipment such as earmuffs, a protective mask, and cut-proof gloves. Abrade the welding seams with a wire brush, so that the surrounding welding points are visible. Use a weld grinder with a counter holder attachment to remove all of the welding points on the edge of the mudguard. Use an axial grinder to remove the welding points on the lower flange of the sidewall. You cannot reach these with the weld grinder. Use the weld grinder for the remaining welding points in the lower area of the side wall, but without the attachment here. Then mark the front and top cuts with adhesive tape. The top cut is approximately 2 mm below the horizontal design groove. This maintains the stability of the top panel section. Use a pneumatic jigsaw to cut the panel along the marking. Pay attention to the cutting depth when sawing to prevent damage to any of the interior parts. At the end of the panel, cut around the corner with the saw. The front vertical cutting line is approximately 15 mm to the right of the bead. Use an oscillating saw to cut the panel here. At the tail end, cut the bead from the rear. Use a hammer and chisel to spread the lower seams and open the drilled out weld points. Bend the flange and the mudguard outward with a pair of tongs. Use a hot air blower to heat the panel from the outside. This separates the sealant between the panel and the chassis struts behind it. The sealant running along the mudguard also has to be heated in order to remove the panel. Once all of the seams have been detached, the damaged panel can be easily removed. Use the axial grinder to separate the weld points on the remaining bead at the tail end. And then chisel out the remaining metal. Use the wire brush to remove the sealant and any paint residue from the front join. Then remove the remains of the bead as thoroughly as possible. Then deburr all of the separated weld points. Use the compressed air gun to remove any loose dirt and filings. Use the Terrason FL cleaner to remove excess hollow space conservation wax. Deburr and clean the edge of the cut. Use sandpaper to remove any paint from the interior adhesive surface. Then use the FL cleaner to clean the edge of the cut and the adhesive surface on the rear side of the panel. Use a mirror to inspect the adhesive surface. It must be clean and grease-free. Also make sure that the top panel has not been dented while carrying out the preparatory work. That's all for the removal. We have removed the damaged sidewall for the partial repair.